Clap it up for these two. We got a real one connection, folks. Clap it up for the could be, because it could be. Clap it up, yes. For these two, we got a real one connection. Hallelujah. Let me take that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this very, very special edition of A Real One that we call the Connection Check-In. That's right, the Connection Check-In, where we look at some of those real one connections of just a few months ago, right? And we check in with those wonderful people that connected on the show. A lot of you have been saying, Pointer, where are the follow-ups? We want to know what happened between, and actually these very two special people that are on live with me right now in real time, Martin and Rhoda. Martin and Rhoda, how's it going?
Great, thank you.
All good.
Beautiful. Well, I just want the fans, if you don't remember, fans, I know you do. That's the one that broke the internet out the gate. We had Martin and Rhoda as our first Real One connection. It was a monumental moment in A Real One history. We're going to show that clip.
I think I like just the chemistry that I feel is a little bit, it's a little special.
Yeah, I like that. Wow. Okay. Well, let's have her come on up then. Come on up with me. You're going to stand right here with me. Yeah, you won't be needing that. Let me just ask let's step right here with me just in case. Now, let me ask you this. These are some of my final questions. Do you think that he could be your real one?
Absolutely, I think he can be my real one.
And do you think she could be your real one?
I think there's a possibility.
Okay, then I'm going to say, can we clap it up? Because this is a real one connection. We got ourselves two real ones. So I'll take that mic. Oh boy, they're ready to go. All right, go on out there, folks. Oh my God. Clap it up for them, folks. Clap. Wow. Fantastic. Yeah. So they connected. They were so giddy and happy. It just reminded me of the schoolyard when I was a wee lad back in the day. So Martin and Rhoda, first I'm just going to check in with both of you individually. Ladies first, we'll start with Rhoda. Rhoda, how has life been even after A Real One?
It's been terrific. I love the title Connection Check-In because I'm all about connection. And I love the freedom to be able to go out, for instance, to see a play. That's one of my favorite things to do. And if I'm by myself, I might start up a great conversation on either side of me or both. And that might even lead to going out for coffee after the show and exchanging phone numbers. And we're off and running. And to have a partner, a companion that I'm not feeling the chemistry with, who I know is sensing that I'm spending more time with the person on either side of me than them. And then the show starts, and then they've got an attitude, and they're sulking through the whole show, and they don't even want to go out for dinner afterwards like they promised. That is a big pain in the neck. And what was the purpose of the whole thing?
Okay. Yeah, I definitely don't want you experiencing any pain in the neck. And I do know a few good chiropractors, so I would definitely, want to check in on that. But I feel okay, well, but life, you're healthy, you're blessed, you're well. We're gonna check in with Martin now. Martin, how has life been after you were on the show?
Oh, life has been good. I've heard from friends that have seen the show, and they enjoyed it. And so I really enjoyed meeting Rhoda. It was a lot of fun. And as you know, I was just smitten with her.
Yeah, you were, both of you.
I popped everybody else and then, picked her. So there were some expectations going into this date.
Okay. Well, yeah, because my question for both of you is, after the Real One connection was established on the show, what happened? Whatever happened to Martin and Rhoda? Who wants to?
You know what his idea of a first date was?
What was it?
To go walk along the Santa Monica Pier.
That sounds like
there were rides we could have gone on, but no, you had to pay for the ride. So he wasn't even paying for any rides.
Martin.
And then there was a restaurant that I wanted to go to because it was real close there, the Lobster. And I'd been curious about it. I love lobster. And I thought, how perfect. And it was delightful to find out that they had live music playing and they had fabulous lobster on the menu, but it was awfully expensive. It was $50.
Yeah, how much was it?
$50.
Yeah.
So we discovered that there was lobster salad, which he suggested would be a good idea instead. And I thought that's a perfect compromise. and the lobster was rubbery in the salad. It was inedible. So that right there was all a big disappointment.
Mm.
Well, I have to say, I thought it was a good time. And, we talked about what we're going to do, and we both agreed to go into the Santa Monica Pier. I had a little bit of vertigo, so I didn't want to go on the rides at that time.
Oh, okay.
Did you
And,
tell Rhoda that? You told Rhoda you had vertigo?
well, I don't go around telling everybody my whole, medical business,
Okay. Okay.
but
Okay.
so sorry about that. But then, we get to the restaurant and I'm sorry, I didn't cook the lobster. I didn't make it rubbery. So, that's not my fault, but it seemed like it was, it's being blamed on me. And,
Are you blaming Martin Rhoda for
Yep,
something?
I am.
Why?
Well, probably because I'm just disappointed in him altogether. I mean, yes, he's tall. Yes, he's got a nice smile. Yes, he's got twinkly, beautiful blue eyes. Yes, he seemed attracted to me,
Yeah.
but
I
there was
know,
no
yeah.
challenge whatsoever, nothing to win over, nothing to be alluring about. I had him in the palm of my hand, and I don't want a man in the palm of my hand.
Oh.
Well, I don't think that's what it was. I think you wanted the lobster and you thought that I balked at the price and suggested the lobster salad. And that's where things went downhill, right?
Is that where it went downhill, Rhoda?
We could have danced to the live dancing, the music, and you were not interested.
You didn't want to dance, Martin?
Well, you know what? It's about a relationship is about compromises. So I did, like I said, I had a little bit of vertigo. I wasn't going to start bopping around on the dance floor.
Mm.
And so, you know, I, I think she mistook it for I'm not interested. And then, this is just how the whole evening went.
I'm not looking for a relationship to compromise. Heck no, I've gone this far in my life. I do not need to compromise. I'd rather be by myself than have to compromise.
So you don't think Rhoda, kind of, even if we don't want to call it compromise, but just kind of meeting in the middle, which is compromise, but just like, hey, okay, you Rhoda wanted lobster, and maybe it was out of his budget. Was it out of the budget, Martin?
Well, yeah, lobster for her, lobster for me. I mean, what am I gonna sit there with a salad when she's having lobster? Uh,
See, you see,
Drink.
yes, that would have been fine.
I mean,
Watch me enjoy the lobster
I
and
mean,
you have the salad.
yeah, we're talking $200 here, John. That's just whew, it's a little too rich for my blood.
That's another thing. Part of what would have made it cost so much money is you having to order booze, and I'm a teetotaler, and that's a
Mhm.
lot of money to spend. You could have cut that out. I
Oh,
don't like being with a person a little bit tipsy anyway.
a couple of gin and tonics, I mean, that's not the world. Come on.
I don't like it.
It's not like I'm sitting there guzzling a six pack. It's
Well, it felt like it to me.
yeah.
Mm. So do you think he got a little tipsy on the date, Rhoda?
Yeah, I do. And that gets me nervous. I like
Martin?
I
to be in control of my senses, and I like to be able to rely on the person that I'm with.
I had a couple drinks. It's within the legal limit, no problem. But apparently this was a problem for Rhoda.
Yeah.
And you didn't Uber to the date. You drove, so you had to drive home, and that gets me nervous.
Mm.
Legal limit, 2 drinks. I'm a big guy.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it was I made the bad rubbery lobster and I got sloshed on 2 gin and tonics. And, it just, so I don't even know that I could say, we're friends. I mean, we're just, uh, I would love to go on another show if you have one, because
I
I'm still looking for somebody.
Yeah, because I think That's our point. Well, I think a lot of fans might be a little disappointed right now. We were hoping the energy that was present when y'all first connected, it doesn't seem like that feeling of mutual connection is.
I would love to see Martin find the woman of his dreams. I want to see that show and hear the follow-up check-in after that connection.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. But okay, so really quick, I don't want to hold y'all long. Obviously, the connection. You said you wouldn't even consider yourself friends. That's what.
I don't think so.
Okay. What happened after dinner? What happened after? So maybe what happened after the lobster situation, or
We hugged and we both went our separate ways.
did either of you call or text each other after?
Not really. No. Mm-mm. There was no reason, John. I mean, she even, I forget the comment that she made, but she thought that I was sloshed or drunk or whatever as we were, walking back on the pier. And that was a little bit insulting.
That hurt his feelings. Yeah.
So, and then, so then when we parted ways, it was just, okay, thanks, good night, goodbye. That's it.
Wow.
But I wish him the best.
And I wish you the best as well.
Thank you, Martin.
You still as cute as a button, I mean, come on, look at that smile. Jeez Louise.
What could, even if we have to sponsor it, if we have to pay for the lobster, a real one, we take on that expense. Is there any chance that this could be rekindled? Because we're about connections. We're not about all the lights and the camera. We really do want to foster these great relationships. Is there any chance that if we sponsor a nice lobster dinner, both of you, $100 lobster, could that save Martin and Rhoda?
Well, Martin, let me ask you this. Is there something you could do to prevent the vertigo from happening if we were to go out again?
I think it's just a part of my age, and I don't sleep well, and I think that's a part of the issue. I don't know that I can do anything or take something or not take something. It certainly wasn't the drink. It wasn't a gin and tonic that made, because I was already had the vertigo going to the restaurant.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with your sponsorship, John, I would be willing to give Martin another try.
Wow. Okay. All right, Martin, are you willing to get, because you were just her beautiful smile, you were just seemed to be enamored again. Could you go on another date?
I will consider it.
Well, all right. Well, that makes me feel just a little better, fans. I'm hoping you're feeling good too. I don't want to feel like I'm pressuring or anything, but so y'all, let it marinate, think on it over the next few days. But I definitely that moment on that episode that y'all shared, where Rhoda was cued and just staring at him, you were locked in, and there didn't seem to be any switching up. So I was happy to see it. The fans were happy to see it, but. All right, well, I'll leave it up to you two. Hopefully y'all connect. I'm not going to pressure, Pointer won't pressure, but maybe in a few weeks I'll check in and see, hey, how'd that second date at the Lobster House go?
Okay.
So that would be great. Any final words from either of you? I thank you both for making this. Martin, anything to end with?
No, thank you. Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. Rhoda, anything?
No, it was good seeing you both again.
Fantastic. Yeah, y'all definitely. I think, did you delete each other's number or anything? I'm hoping it didn't get too toxic. Y'all still got each other's contact?
Still got it.
Oh, okay. So maybe y'all felt some good. Okay. Well, it all seems to be working out. Well, thank you, folks. Thank you, fans, for watching. Martin and Rhoda, you're amazing. And I hope to see y'all again when it's better news next time.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good one, folks. All right. I know what you're thinking, friends. I want to watch more of his videos. Well, that's a beautiful thing. We've got this video here, which is one of my favorites. I promise you won't regret watching it. We also have this playlist if you just want to dive deep into what we do, or this video here, which is groundbreaking, or you can click this if you plan to subscribe, which I hope you do. So thank you for watching, folks. We've got a lot of content just for you. Hope you enjoy.